Today, we are about to start our program of the day. We know that there are people that are coming in. All the speakers, you'll have a chance from the family side from now until 11 to 10 from the comrades and the organization. For some of us, we are glad that we are in church today. It's an opportunity for us to come closer to God, and for that we really appreciate the church leaders. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Please, for those to be seated by now, the comrades, members of the community, everybody will be here, and I'm sure that there is a space up there. On my left, all the speakers and those who will be paying tribute, I'm told that that space is reserved for you. My name is Peter Ngwedzeni, and I hope God will grant me for us is my uncle. Coming from a big family. You hear when we talk about it, we talk about Nobel. To him, a young boy who grew up in Bethlehem, a soldier outside this country. I'm going to request the hymn so that we start our program.
his role in the struggle of South Africa's democracy. Amen. Amen. Good morning. As praise and worship team, we are going to sing. So.
Hi, so sana na kubatsi.
God sent His Son. They call Him Jesus. He came to love. In
what we are observing now is a real bulldozer paying tribute to one of their own, the protocol of their flag, to say to him, a hero, a soldier have fallen. This is what is happening before us today. A man lying here before us was a man of many talents. But over and above that, is a man who was known within the rank of the organization by the name that was not even known to us as a family, Domazi. And this is what we see, that some of his comrades are here to pay tribute to. In terms of our program, I'm going to allow this 5 minutes or a minute because they've already started for the controversies to finalize the protocol of flag dressing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with the soldier process. Last time I was in training, was in school. They will guide us in terms of that salute of Mkonto, then we allow them to either to give a guard of honor or to back. You know, where they are soldiers, sometimes you have to observe their own protocols. And while they are still preparing, in terms of our program, the next part is the welcome by the family. The gentleman Ngwedzeni is going to engage or going to speak on behalf of the family. But let me take this opportunity on behalf of the Ngwedzeni family and Selepe family to welcome you all. We really appreciate that you took time to come and celebrate as we bid farewell to one of our own. One that we call a husband, a brother, an uncle. One that we call the leader, a comrade. The one that we know that he dedicated his life to the emancipation and the freedom of the people of this country. Really family ya Ngwedzeni le ya Selepe re a leboga gore le be le rona mona. This program is in twofold. It's a part of the family, but because it's a man of many talents, there is also an organization that will assist in directing this program. The organization which he paid his life when it was not even fashionable to join it, African National Congress. So I will be assisted by one of the comrades later on when we proceed with the program. I'm waiting for a signal or for indication from the comrades that they will advise if they are still busy or they are done before I do a proper acknowledgement. Thank you very much. They are at ease. I'm told we can proceed. Again, let me start to acknowledge and appreciate the leadership of this church for assisting us and for making sure that we use this facility to pay tribute to our Lord Ngwedzeni. Earlier on, I stated my name is Peter Ntsime, and I will be directing this program. I also want to acknowledge all of you. Some I may not call by names, but comrades from the African National Congress, SANCO, the Youth League, military veteran, everyone who was close and who knows alone with it. But most importantly, let me also acknowledge the presence of the bereaved family, in particular, Mema Ngwedzeni and the kids and grandchildren. Mujimo Utale Fama. It's not going to be easy, and I don't want to promise something I don't have. But I can tell you what my mother taught me when I was still young, when one is faced with situation like this, and she would always say, "Who is Mujimo? The Bayan Sepoyanga Momotimo." And this words, I want you to carry it with you all the time. That when that moment of silence comes, let that remember who is Mujimo. Let me also acknowledge the presence, not in a particular order, of other comrades that have worked closely with alone, that have known alone, worked outside the borders of this country and inside, pre and post apartheid. Let me acknowledge the presence of that dear comrade Amos Mason, who is there with us. He is the chair of the National Council of Provinces that they almost rallied. Thank you for making time. Let me also appreciate the presence and acknowledge the presence of the Member of Parliament, who is also the Deputy Minister Copter, that they passed down. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the chairperson of the African National Congress in Gauteng, in the ANC region, and who is also the member of the mayoral committee, that Amarelo, for your presence. Let me also appreciate the ANC veteran, Todd Manda Conference. Let me see. Is she here? Thank you very much, Katimana from the ANC veteran. Thank you very much for your time. I must also appreciate from the veteran ANC, Mebusi, when you are also in our presence here. Let me also appreciate your presence here with us. As and when comrades come, I will acknowledge them. Those whom Kebabana TV fellow. This is another one. I'm now going to go into the second part, and this part is the part for the families and friends to pay tribute. Firstly, I'm going to start with the program in front of this on the same. With this one. I'm going to start with the hymn, and then from there I'm going to call Norman Ngwedzeni to come and pay tribute. Norman Ngwedzeni will be followed by from the Selected family, that is Ngwedzeni, who will also come pay tribute. Again, we know that any person comes from two families. You will not walk alone from one family. So from Ngwedzeni family and from the Selected family. Then from there, I'm going to call the friends, family friends, and also as the Namanai comes in, I will give you the name of the comrade who is also a friend who is also a comrade. Norman Ngwedzeni, over to you. And then the other thing, the challenge when you are in the, what do you call this, political engagement, when comrades sing the song, you always sing the song, the struggle song, right? And then you can't, because on the other side are those who are on struggle song, other side are all those who are in and worship song. So I really not have a problem. At a later stage, when we will come, the comrades will go with the struggle, the political song. But for now, please, let's work together as and when the speaker comes in to go with the worship song. Because even these comrades, when they were there outside outside the territory or outside the borders of this country, they always prayed and they believe that God will protect them, so that one day they find themselves back in the country. I'm not going to work over to Norman with it.
That's sorry. Jale Bofa, Chora, Marako, Medicine Ape,
I gotta read again the state.
Organization, the African National Congress,
Change up. I gotta read the medium show. photo tsa crowd.
Now,
Family.
therefore, as a family
Ke ena
member, although it's my
No, tsa
younger
everyone.
brother, I am we are very grateful.
Oh yeah, obvious. Agar na ke shooting. Na ke le shift ka shift.
So I don't
Ngwele nyana yona so ke go e ba motafoleng. Ya ke tlo ya go pulpiting sa.
We are involved in mass mobilization, organizing, as well as the underground structures of the group. So alone, we are before our left. He belonged to a unit NLE Lidwa Kickback. Unity Arrow in the hour by so therefore, so we are involved more underground as well as more structured. That is particularly youth, but half and half more because Unanza Kabaisa City, Ukraine, Rihanna, Tukanako, Sanko, Tukanako, Godi, Union, more structures and all sectors of society. But basically, we there are Hadama, Utamaisi de Bokore, Hawa, or Missing, and then Accra, outside of the only city. Commander, one year ago, I'm not sure of the Vala or the High Vala coming from the property are whenever it is the bodies are coming after the local city for also by like each of London structures among structures in this world. So whatever organized then transport kitchen and then took another pipeline near Zebra. You are not a by Poseidon Zimbabwe, who can in the country and then facilitate the most arms and other things. So that's contract here in Africa. I'm so or what happened was battery so now in short, go for a family level and then we level now and we are humbled by the presence including Masola and comrades. That not always happen. Most of our comrades have other mind. Nakomo present here, hakuna present ya Kareke, hakuna present. Last but not least, hata maadoni, utamaile le mutali waka, utamaile pili, the wife followed, le mwana, the first. So ababa ni mwana, over the born. And then the last born, and then Rateba. So I'm not going to dwell into what happened, but one of his friends and comrade honored close in a slide. Baba Mama made a message of support, and they were in touch with me. Said that support. Customer mentioned about among them is the Ufamadu, get over Manare, get la Uligan. So, but once I communicate at the Baba, I don't play it, so once I communicate at the Baba, and rather go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gentleman Ngwedzeni. Gentlemen, lying before us. During the time when Mussolini really was called the People's Poet, at home we used to take his name and enjoy that poet. Alone, all alone. Alone in solidarity corner, all alone. Alone in solidarity confinement, all alone. It was not easy for the mother because he was not in the country. And comrades like that, they know it better. That even communication was not easy there. The whole, he threw other comrades just to tell you, as a family that he is still alive there. When we sit here today, which I thought Ngwedzeni would say, the last one of this family, Ngwedzeni, up until today, family knows not where he is, where he lies, whether he is still alive or not, or whether he is in what we call an unmarked grave. You will understand that when they joined struggle, the compromise that even when the mother passed on, with your children who are in solidarity confinement and other children outside the borders of this country. The worst part of it, post-1994, when the African nation took over, she lost her last born. I'm saying to you, up until today, we don't know where is Ngwedzeni. I'm going to call now on behalf of the celebrity family, to talk over that is in Ngwedzeni at the house. Please give me him and then when we come, a very short one, please. Thank you. Okay. I know it's not easy, it's not easy, particularly to say goodbye to a friend. That is over to you.
Now, I'm an uncle to brothers alone, children. So, all of them, I'm an uncle to them. And then far as I know, Brother was a humble soul, and I was blessed from Ngwedzeni family to have our sister, and I'm thankful for that. And I can give our girls to go Ngwedzeni.
Thank you very much. Speak and short. I have also to acknowledge the presence of the comrade from the African National Congress, Jabu Kumalo, who is the coordinator of the Business League. Comrade Jabu Kumalo is here. Leadership, thank you very much. I'm also to acknowledge the presence of Gogo, Patient Malekani from the veterans. Thank you very much. Also the presence of the member of the Regional Executive Council of the African National Congress, Comrade Moses. Thank you very much, leadership. Also to acknowledge from the Women's League the presence of Comrade Debogo Sekota. Very well. Thank you very much. We are here to celebrate the life of a person who has dedicated his life to the African National Congress. For some of us, we don't understand the difficulty for those who were in exile. And I want to call now a friend who will maybe share with us, because people think that when people were in exile, they were in airport, hotel, and they were living a better life. But sometimes it's good and better when you get it from those who were with them, who will tell you how difficult it is to sleep in a foreign land, in a field, not knowing whether we'll make it back home, because at that time the apartheid regime was very brutal to the African National Congress. Allow me to call comrades, a friend to Ngwedzeni, who have been with me in the struggle, Tate, Emma, and Opt. And you can welcome, he's a comrade this one. Please, just give me that, give me a couple of things. That's welcome.
Thank you very much, Program Director.
Okay.
I really appreciate this short minute of sharing with you. I want to also extend my appreciation to be blessed with our leadership of the African National Congress, all the people there. Just a clear demonstration as to what type of soldiers I am in front of us. My name is Denver Holiday. My mother and father doesn't know because they passed on before I came back to this compact name. My father could remember. My mother had no clue because she died at a very young age when I was actually 25. So Denver Holiday is the name that I was given by the National Congress in a frontline state in Zimbabwe. To be more precise, this name was given to me by Jabu. What roots As God, I will continue to refer to him as God must, because I got to know much later, because we have to be extremely disciplined in terms of who you are, really who you are, and where you come from. So I hail from Cape Town, where the chief charge was adopted. And he was just around the corner. But we just became extremely close long before we even proceeded, because we converged in the 80s before we went to training in the West. We converged as a normal practice of the African National Congress, and the Congress is with traders being prepared for training at the transit camp called Diana in Rwanda. And Edgar was just an exceptional person, very exceptional. So when you arrive in the camp, you are raw, you are poor, you are trained. You don't know much. But this particular comrade had already quite some exposure in terms of what the military is all about. He had his crash course, he was operational, he dealt with PLDs, he dealt with couriers, and just when he started becoming an extreme nuisance for the special branch, it was extremely important. Otherwise, he would have assassinated the guy. He retreats, and this is where we went up in the West. Edgar was just an exceptional person. Ordinarily, you would be referred to as a commissar. I'm still referred to as Commissar Denver. So that's where it is. Commissar would then be responsible to inculcate and to make you understand why you have taken up arms, and understand that your anger is not misdirected, but it's points and targeted to the enemy. Understand? And this was primarily what commissars do. Political work, politicize, get there. Your morale always had to depend on how productive the commissariat would be. So that was both long before you could finalize our basic training in a camp called Vash. That's where we trained. A lot of other companies that also came from how we all over. But our particular closeness was undeniable, because we spent very a lot of time, and I learned a lot from him. Because we get savage. So some people would just follow their friends going back and only start understanding the dynamics when they arrive there in terms of what the struggle is all about. Not everybody will be arriving at equal level in terms of understanding the struggle. This particular soul was already at the young age extremely seasoned, so he knew, he was not confused about me. He knew to the extent that even during the time we were training in March, you would be rendering guidance, support, and help in the preparations of political sessions, being a member of the commissariat, assisting the camp commissar in having this arrangements made. So he was not only a commissar, he was also a commander. Because when duty calls, if there was just multi-talent, everywhere and anywhere you will be able to execute those tasks and assignments with absolute commitment, passion. And we do so much so close together that even when we are coming back after the adoption and support and the support and the adoption of resolution 435 when the was and their surrogates and the proxies in the lives of the leaders were interrupted to come about our leadership in the life of Oliver come to explain to us that the decision by the National Executive Committee has been taken and it's also been communicated and agreed with the leadership of the colleagues that we will have to support our civil for the independence and the second part that we have to accept is that we close the camps, we close the camps in the east, we close the camps in the north. But one thing that's extremely important that I will always remember, because you guys never know whether you make it home. The train was harsh. We stayed in Dakar. We worked, and we were molded. We are molded by hard and very, very staunch trainers, whether it's firearms or and when you see back, and it's
Aska focus on most very pictures of me. I say for people, now I'm less speaker, I shoot it.
you would know it would always be a key fighting factor. Some of us know what the fighting factor is. Because beans and rice or rice and beans and rice. And the only time you make this food edible is when you have some knowledge. I'm going to get the was a commodity that was very scarce. When I'm going for a meal to have something to eat, you will have to come closer to those who can share with you because we will need you. And now the day which happens once in 6 months, which will happen to happen 3 times a year, we will have a lot of meat. I could never know whether this is an elephant or whether this is a rabbit. But also because the eventually just halt, this meat must finish. Because we have a plan where not only have our movements being present and we had skirmishes that were almost regular with the leader bandits because they had clear instructions that those boys of that Congress must not be allowed come down south. So happened that we then became very much involved in the northern front with them and the eastern front. And I can tell you now, you must, he had a dedicated truck that only he could use. And under that truck, we used to refer to that as a grass. So, him driving that grass has saved a lot of complaints because you open up. You will open up the way and blast our way out of danger of this bandits when they will be ambushed to us. Then the convoys from the water to bring us in. So our closeness extended beyond only the bushes of that will be given the opportunity after we got our monthly hub and also the after community, which we refer to as a basic for interpretation and also getting the communities to understand. So it will be a very difficult role. After then coming back home, when we repatriated, continued to be with me to the extent that we became two-based. Edgar, not only a comrade, not only a brother, not only loyal to me, but a leader. His first daughter is my daughter. First was born there, left very, very tender age. To market, we became a very close, so much so that we continue being a family. That's why I'm privileged and honored of saying something about my he called me back. Can you bear it when he started to wait back home? Nearly there, then yes, there. But it was my day. So, Edgar has given his all passionate commitment, love for the South African people, love for the liberation and emancipation of our people. And with God's mercy, he saw it happening. And all that I can say, as I've said in Midlands, that the only way to honor him, the only way to humiliate is to ensure that African National Congress gets a resounding victory. A resounding victory in this coming elections. Thank you.
I have to take more because there's come a time to cut away, particularly with the friend. They say the friend is the one that we call when we're wrong. But the real friend is the one that will be sitting next to you and laugh and say, what did you do? That is the real friend. I'm now going to call the third daughter to give us memorial speech. Then she's going to do it, and then from there, I will come in. She must not leave because we will go directly to the reading of the obituary. But for now, over to you to give us, and please tell them who you are. And let them tell them. No.
The Bachelor up with them. Good morning to the House, the congregation at large. I am at a great privilege to stand in front of all of us today as the namesake, heir, and daughter of my darling father. I am his handsome girl, I think the speakers before me have done an excellent job at vividly telling us about the disciplined, stoic military man that he was. He was known through various hats, through various dances, from the infatigable Baron to Ngwedzeni, Emmanuel Dube, who was exiled into other African countries such as Angola, Botswana, and Tanzania, to also then be known as the Hoho on the soccer field in the pinnacle of his youth, and to his grandchildren who cannot fathom how only one side of their family is only aunties, they used to call him Auntie Grandpa. And to me, certainly, I call him Papa, my dad. And all the hats he wore, the dearest to me, the most impactful, is that of a father. Throughout my sister's lives and he always lived and said an undeniable fact that we were the centerpieces of his heart and his life. He iterated this to us as many times as he could, in passing conversation, before he took his rest, and just to reassure us. The mantra of his life always was, my daughters are first. He believed the only ways to console us in totality were three and only three. One, it was probably because we needed a new dress. Two, he thought that all we have to do is to listen attentively and offer little to no advice. Or three, he thought that we were probably cranky and we needed new hair. All in all, he was a fantastic girl dad. Today, I'd like to give my heartfelt thanks to who he was and who he still will be through his actions. He was our protector, our provider, and our strongest support. My father's core pillars for our family were hard work, bravery, integrity, being upstanding citizens, and also education. The first ever election that I could vote for, I worked for. I was really part of the electoral staff. That made him with so much pride. Exactly 1 month before his passing, he and I graced the great hall of this university, where he strengthened the case and the motivation for education. My dad would always challenge me, us, my sisters, to write our own stories and our own narratives. As he would say, I am a living monument. Everything I am is because of him. In ounce of intelligence, tenacity, stubbornness, eloquence, and even love of people. If you think I have any of those qualities, he quadrupled. There are so many hopes I still had for he and I. There were so many things that he still had to see. But I now understand that he has run his race and he ran it well. It was on the 21st of April where I was celebrating for church, and I heard my father ask my mother what it meant to be saved, and if he could have this shape. To which my mom had then led me to the salvation prayer. My heart shattered then, as that was the first coherent sentence he had said in a while, and that was quite literally this loss. Throughout my father's life, he battled many ailments and no symptoms in his health. So naturally, we were shocked at his departure because we were the inexhaustible family, the mighty oak, the great tree of the Ngwedzeni land, and that tree had fallen. We are going to miss you. Your soft, compassionate, and kind spirit will be remembered by us for as long as we can. We love it so deeply. We love you so deeply. We treasure you so deeply. And your absence will be deeply felt. As you would say, like sand in the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. For as long as I could remember, you'd find me wherever I was in the house and say, good night. I'll see you tomorrow. But today, I say to you. And this time, I would like to encourage myself and my family and everyone that has come here as a celebration of this life to know that there is no sorrow that earth has that God cannot heal. And God can never give us pause when we can bear. Our yoke right now currently is very, very heavy, but God's yoke for us is extremely light. Surely man is the other of us, and who does give a return. The great lion, the rock of ages, the Ancient of Days had allotted exactly 65 years and 13 days to my darling father. But he will stay forever days in our heart. I love you Good night. Yes.
When the family requested me to come and direct this program, I had a problem. Basically, Ngwedzeni would speak with this one brother, English, typical man, but they would always ask them to be how am I going to do it because I'm from the man English. And when I pull along that, they would always say, that was before, so you must understand English. And I want to end the lady's leadership. I think day school, one of the activities that I go to. When comrade them was here, this history is not in our school books. Please make sure that this history is recent. Because the lives of Alon are living. I repeat, he was known as Thomas. Family known him as Alon Ngwedzeni. Comrades knows Thomas. So that is a request to you that let's start to write this history. So that our kids, our grandchildren will understand when we talk about striking, what are we talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to request that now we're going to stand and we're going to read the official and DJ is going to play his song. If not, there's a propeller here, and important for powerful and strong as she is. Even how weak she's going to read. Because her father taught her one day that life is not going to be easy. Uncle Long said earlier on, first was born outside. With only moment, she was outside in Omaha. But the father too is that it does not mean that even when you go back home, life is going to be easy. And they understand it now. And I want to promise the family of Ngwedzeni it's not going to be easy. But only God will always walk with you. Please, let all rise and then provide for the child. I'm not sure that if you are right, you can play me a game or an opera area. I know that's the way I still really DJ, I don't see him people since the last okay, please. And then please come closer and pray for me. Yes.
I'm going to read the obituary of the late Ngwedzeni. On the 12th of April, 1959, Alon Ngwedzeni was born in the dusty, political, and nice streets of Alexandria. Although born in Alexandria, Alon was born by a father from Chisashvili in Twango, in Congo. He carried true Venda heritage and was a proud Venda man. His birth in Alexandria at that time of our country's history could only mean he would end up as a victim of forced removed, and he ended up in Philippines in the same year.
Oh.
He
Okay,
started
sure.
his early childhood schooling in Ngwedzeni Primary School in Sisanguli, and later went on to Rosettenville Primary School. He finished off his primary school at Data Higher Primary School. 1976 was the year he cut his political teeth. He was instrumental in the 1976 Rwani uprising. The uprising was led by the students. The actions led to his being forced to relocate to Soweto, where he completed his high school in Midlands until he completed his matric. He got married to his beloved wife, my mother, Rosettenville in 1984, and got blessed with a baby girl named First, who was named after Ruth First, the wife of Tuslovo, who was assassinated by the agents apartheid regime.
He worked at JCI, Johannesburg Consolidated Investments, during the height of intense mass mobilization between 1981 to 1984. To narrate his activism, it is best to start when he was recruited into the underground structures during 1978 to 1979, where he was specifically tasked to set up and intensify civic and labor structures after he underwent crash course and military training in Botswana. This resulted in the formation of huge structures throughout the country, starting with COSAS that was established in 1978, followed by the Soweto Youth Congress around 1982, and other youth formations throughout the country like Cape Town Youth Congress, Port Elizabeth Youth Congress, Alexandria Youth Congress, and etc. He participated together with others in the formation of the United Democratic Front, UDF, in 1983 and then COSA in 1985. He was involved in the border reconnaissance and further activities related to underground military operatives. He was then forced to leave the country in 1985 post his last assignment in Botswana. It became evident that the secret police were now becoming observant and had started with their surveillance, and they had to retreat to Lesotho with the lives of 16 government. He was then joined by his wife and daughter, Lesotho.
Yeah.
From Lesotho, they went together to Zambia, where there was split and low-grade military training, and the wife together with the child proceeded to Tanzania, where she finalized her training. He arrived in Rwanda at the transit camp called Vienna, where he was prepared by the rest of the trainees for training in the military camp 13. In between the training, he would be co-opted to the political commissariat. He is then attached to the detachment named King Killers detachment called as Young Lions at the completion of his basic training. He then becomes detached to the transport section, given the sole responsibility of driving guns, military truck with anti-air weaponry. It is during this period in the late 80s, particularly in 87, with the expansion of the Northern Front, that the intensification of Jonas Savimbi bandits went all out to prevent us from moving from point A to point B. This meant full deployment of our army. At the helm of this deployment was the anti-air trucks, military trucks that were driven by a load that lasted the way open for the soldiers to penetrate the ranks of the enemies, preventing ambushes that would result in heavy casualties. It was almost a weekly occurrence that the convoys bringing supplies to the camp must be under the escort of MK platoons on foot, and we used a lot of intelligence information from local villages in knowing the whereabouts of Unita bandits of Joseph. The MK soldiers were trained by the commanders, but the will to fight was inspired by the commissary. This in Angola was led by regional commander referred by Timothy Ngwedzeni. The war in Kikotavao, which had the Buddhist missionaries through the support of the Cuban comrades, led to the adoption of the Revolution 435. It is during this time Oliver Tambo came to speak to the soldiers to explain the conditions that was resolved to support the independence of Namibia at the price of closing our camps in Angola. The ANC leadership in Lusaka to take us to Tanzania and Angola. This is where the seasoned diplomat in the name, Edgar Dumasi. He would become the head of immigration services and work with Comrade Morodi, and his primary roles and responsibilities was to ensure and grasp the facilitation of movements in and out the country, meaning Tanzania, including the ANC executive leadership. At times, his responsibilities would be done jointly with government officials in the event that purpose of the visit was the Tanzanian government. Prior to repatriation back to the country in 1990, while still in Tanzania, they were blessed with being He worked for the voter education unit with Mandela Guava, spearheaded by the ANC headquarters in Charles. Upon return to the country with the need of establishing new defense due to his love over and above politics, with heavy machinery, he then joined the 4 Arts unit in Portestry, where he partakes in the integration into the new defense force in his. They were blessed with a third daughter, Chinana Ngwedzeni, who was born in 2009. After leaving the army, he then joined the city of Johannesburg in the region Key up until his retirement. Alone has 5 grandchildren and 2 sons bestowed to him through his daughters. He leaves behind his wife, daughters, sons, and grandchildren. He was a man of charisma and compassionate service to others, even in his community, which he always made an effort to commune with all that he came across. He leaves the lives of many touched and longing for more time with him. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and know that his family, his community, and the people of South Africa will forever be indebted to his and him for his personal sacrifice to the total emancipation of South Africans. Thank you.
That is a life of one. I am 30 minutes late. Let me, in our midst, acknowledge also the presence of Ausi Nonipesi from the ANC veteran and the councillor here, Comrade Muhamedi, C.R. Muhamedi, and the councillor here, your presence. I'm not sure, I don't know the name of the person who is going to read the flowers. From there, I will be then co-directing the program with a comrade from the African National Congress. You all know that this is the protocols. I don't want to call comrades. Alone told me something that there are commissaries and comrades who are with them, who are elders and who are veterans and who are senior in the ANC leadership. The flaws. Though the person has told us to come closer, please, I'm not sure whether we have those cards. There are a lot of flowers here in front of me, but I don't see the one with messages. Please check the messages and then what we prepare. Comrades, let us sing a song I hymn, and then when we prepare the second part, we will head over now to the African National Congress so that I don't find myself overstepping.
Yo
12 I have to, not me, I have to hand over to the leadership of or to the church and to the pastor who will give sermons. We know that in most cases, you'll find that we always confine them to 10-15 minutes. We have agreed with them that 30 minutes before we will hand over to him. Comrade from the African National Conference, and then we will come forward.
When he joined the struggle in 1976, there was no time to brief, but why not sheets? And I thought learning is why not sheets. And thank you very much to the family, the Ngwedzeni family and the Stevie family for allowing that alone to really be on the ground for the community of South Africa. In the book of Numbers, Moses led the Israelites from Egypt. And he had to camp in the desert of Paran just before he got to Canaan. But for some reason, Moses did not see Canaan. And I believe where we are now, Ramanda, we are still in Paran. Because as the ANC, we are in the quest to really build a national democratic society. And if that alone leaves us in Paran, as we are still in that quest of effecting the NTR to realize the national democratic society. Now we are getting into the political aspect where we will really spanish isikhathi probably because isikhathi is circle. sishaya igwiji kodwa igwiji lethu liyashoda. Maybe kubanjwe comrade councillor wendawo angazi si-acknowledge ebabili asimamnolejana comrade councillor, we acknowledge you. Maybe that's why singathule kahle comrade mongameli. Cela sishaye igwiji eli-serious siphakamise a comrade that will speak on behalf of MKLWV and exovenimile so that sizongisha isikhathi. Cela igwiji comrade. No, I think comrades, the commissars and the commissariats, they've seen what I know. Comrade Councillor, Comrade Mongameli, can you come and welcome us in the way yako? Or I acknowledge you, but I did not give you a chance to come and speak. Comrade Mongameli, we can come to the front.
Allow me to greet the family of Rosettenville that are here today and pay our respect to send the proper over to the son of the soil, to a man who dedicated his life and didn't focus on his family, but to all the people of South. Allow me to greet the leadership of the ANC, Comrade Army that is here with us, Comrade Parks, Comrade Morero that is here with us. Let me greet everybody, all the structures of the organization that are here. You are all welcome, in particular, better our branch in Ward 134, in Zone 11, Comrade Strike, all that is here. Apology if I didn't mention your name, because we is a Shansis card. I was told before I come here, I was still work with Ngwedzeni, because he knows that if I'm given a podium, then I don't stop. But I will be brief. You are welcome in Zone 11, 124, better for our branch. We really appreciate to be blessed by the son of the soul that is being among us. Then dedicate his well-life lived, and at the end of the day, as the branch, we really appreciate.